Today we will do part 2 of chapter 4, Traditional Logic. In this part we will be studying the classification of categorical propositions. They are also called as traditional scheme of propositions. We already know that a categorical proposition has quality and quantity. On the basis of these two principles, the categorical proposition is classified into four kinds. So it is also called as fourfold classification of propositions. Let us see the classification. First one, universal affirmative. It is also called as a proposition. When the proposition is universal in quantity and affirmative in quality, it is called as universal affirmative proposition. This proposition asserts that the class of subject term is wholly included in the class of predicate term. That is, the whole subject is a whole class. Let us take an example. All mangoes are fruits. In this example, mangoes is the class of subject term and fruits is the class of predicate term. Here the class of mangoes is wholly included in the class of fruits. The symbolic form of this proposition is all S is P, where S stands for subject term and P stands for predicate term. This proposition, that is a proposition, affirms the relation of inclusion between two classes universally, that is wholly. Now we come to the second categorical proposition, that is E proposition. It is also called as E proposition. When the proposition is universal in quantity and negative in quality, it is called as universal negative proposition. This proposition asserts that the class of subject term is wholly excluded from the class of predicate term. Let us take an example. No triangles are circles. In this example, triangles is the class of subject term and circles is the class of predicate term. Here the class of triangles is wholly excluded from the class of circles. The symbolic form of this proposition is no S is P, where S stands for subject term and P stands for predicate term. This proposition denies the relation of inclusion between the two classes universally. That is, one class, means the class of subject term, is wholly excluded from the other class, that is the class of predicate term. Now we come to the third type of categorical proposition, that is particular affirmative, or it is also called as I proposition. When the proposition is particular in quantity and affirmative in quality, it is called as particular affirmative proposition. This proposition asserts that the class of subject term is partly included in the class of predicate term. Let us take an example. Some girls are beautiful. In this example, girls is the class of subject term and beautiful is the class of predicate term. Here the class of girls is partly included in the class of beautiful females. The symbolic form of this proposition is some S is P, where S is the subject term and P is the predicate term. This proposition affirms the relation of inclusion partially. Now we come to the fourth type of categorical proposition, that is particular, negative, or it is also called as O proposition. When the proposition is particular in quantity and negative in quality, then it is called as particular negative proposition. This proposition asserts that the class of subject term is partly excluded from the class of predicate term. Let us take an example. Some boys are not regular. In this example, boys is the class of subject term and regular is the class of predicate term. Here the class of boys is partly excluded from the class of regular students. Now the symbolic form of this proposition is some S is not P, where S stands for subject term and P stands for predicate term. This proposition denies the relation of inclusion partly, that is partially. That is, one class, that is the class of subject term, is partly excluded from the class of predicate term. Now we come to singular proposition. What is a singular proposition? It is one in which the predicate is affirmed or denied of a single definite individual. Here the subject term is a singular term in singular proposition. But the traditional logicians considered singular proposition to be universal proposition. Why did they do this? Because in a singular proposition, the affirmation or the denial is of the whole subject. A singular affirmative proposition is treated as universal affirmative proposition, that is A proposition, and a negative singular proposition is considered as universal negative proposition, that is E proposition. Let us take an example. Smruti is smart. This is singular affirmative proposition because it refers to a definite individual, Smruti, but it is considered as A proposition in traditional logic. Second example, Riddhan is not coward. Here again it is a singular proposition but a negative proposition, singular negative proposition, where it refers to a particular definite individual, that is Riddhan, and it is considered as E proposition or universal negative proposition in traditional logic. Now we come to distribution of terms. The term of a proposition is distributed when the term refers to the entire class to which it applies, and then the term of a proposition is undistributed when it refers to the part of the class to which it applies. This is very important to remember, that when it is distributed and when it is undistributed. It is distributed when it refers to the entire class, and the term is undistributed when it refers to the part of the class. Now we come to distribution of terms in categorical propositions. First is universal affirmative, that is A proposition. Its symbolic form is all S is P. As it is universal proposition, the class of the subject term refers to the entire class. And as it is affirmative proposition, the relation between the two classes, that is the class of the subject term and the class of predicate term, is the relation is of inclusion. That is, one class is included in another class. Let us take an example. All parrots are birds. Here, parrots is the class of subject term and birds is the class of predicate term. The class of subject term, that is parrots, is wholly included in the class of predicate term, that is birds. So the subject term is distributed in a proposition, but the class of predicate term, that is birds, is partly included in the class of subject term, that is parrots. So the predicate term is undistributed in a proposition. This is well understood by Euler's diagram. Now see, in this Euler's diagram we can see two circles. One is within the other. Now you can see that the circle of parrots is wholly included in the circle of birds, whereas the circle of birds is not wholly included in the circle of parrots, because there is a part of the circle of birds which is outside the circle P, a ring. So it clearly shows that the subject term refers to the entire class and so it is distributed, whereas the predicate term refers to the part of the class and so it is undistributed in a proposition. Now we come to universal negative, that is E proposition. Its symbolic form is no SSP. As it is universal proposition, the class of subject term refers to the entire class. And as it is a negative proposition, the relation between the two classes, that is the class of subject term and the class of predicate term, is of exclusion. Let us take an example. No animals are insects. Here, animals is the class of subject term and insects is the class of predicate term. The class of subject term, that is animals, is wholly excluded from the class of predicate term, that is insects. So the subject term is distributed in E proposition. Similarly, the class of predicate term insects is also wholly excluded from the class of subject term animals. So the predicate term is also distributed in E proposition. This is well understood with the help of Euler's diagram. Let us see in the diagram. We can see that the circle of animals is wholly outside the circle of insects. Similarly, the circle of insects is wholly outside the circle of animals. So obviously both are belonging to the entire class and so the subject is distributed as well as the predicate is distributed in E proposition. Now we come to the third proposition, that is particular affirmative I proposition. Its symbolic form is some SSP. As it is a particular proposition, the class of subject term refers to the part of the class. As it is affirmative, the relation between the two classes, that is the class of subject term and that of predicate term, is of inclusion. Let us take an example. Some stones are valuable. Here stones is the class of subject term and valuable is the class of predicate term. The class of subject term, that is stones, is partly included in the class of predicate term, that is valuable things. So the subject term is undistributed in I proposition. Similarly, the class of predicate term, that is valuables, is also partly included in the class of subject term, that is stones. So the predicate term is also undistributed in I proposition. This can be well understood with the help of Euler's diagram. Now we can see X in both the circles. In that part which is common to both circles, it indicates that there is at least one member in that circle. So now this X lies in that area where both the circles are partially included in each other. Like the circle of stones is partly included in circle of valuable things, and the circle of valuable things is partly included in the circle of stones. So it is clearly indicated in the Euler's diagram that subject is partly included in the predicate and the predicate is partly included in the subject. So both the subject term and the predicate term in I proposition are undistributed. The next is particular negative, that is O proposition. Its symbolic form is some S is not P. As it is a particular proposition, the class of subject term refers to the part of the class. And as it is a negative proposition, obviously the relation between the two classes will be that is of subject term and predicate term will be of exclusion. So one class will be excluded from another class. Let us take an example. Some roses are not black. Here roses is the class of subject term and black is the class of predicate term. Here the class of subject term roses is partly excluded from the class of predicate term, that is black things. So the subject term is undistributed in O proposition, whereas the class of predicate term, that is black things, is wholly excluded from the class of subject term roses. So the predicate term is distributed in O proposition. We can understand this with the help of Euler's diagram. We can see that X lies in the circle R, in that part of the circle R which is outside the circle B. So that clearly shows that R is excluded from B partly, whereas B circle is excluded from R wholly. So the subject is undistributed, whereas the predicate is distributed in O proposition. So we have studied how the categorical propositions are classified into 4 kinds. Then we have studied the distribution of terms in them. Then we studied singular proposition. That is what we studied in this chapter. Thank you.